Hey fellow golfers, today I'm going to do some key shots that I think you need to work on, have in your bag, call upon when you need, help you not only reduce your score, get out of certain situations, handle certain weather like wind, play on a links course, bump and run for example, and hopefully all of these together will help you enhance and round up your skill set, your game, and your enjoyment of it. So the first one is to actually do a deliberate hook. So when you want to come around a tree or around a dog leg, and there's a very simple thing, which is if you put your thumbs away from the target, so more around as you grip the ball, basically you are closing the face of the club. So here's my normal grip. By doing the thumbs away from the target, so towards the back, you'll see the face closes. So that'll help you. You do the same stroke, same shot, but that'll help you do a deliberate hook. So, normal grip, normal stance and posture, thumbs away, and you will hook the ball. So, thumbs away from the target. Hook. So the ball hooked around. Similarly, if you want to slice it or fade it much more than usual, again to go the other way on a dog leg or out of trouble behind or around a tree, you move your thumbs towards the target. So from your normal grip, you move your thumbs towards the target. Similarly, if it was a normal grip, it's that. If you move towards, you're opening the face. And that will lead to a slice, a deliberate slice, or much more of a fade. Beautiful. A lovely turn as a slice. Thumbs more towards the target, face open as a result. A nice slice. Things just to do with where you place your thumbs. To repeat, for a deliberate hook, move your thumbs away from the target. For a deliberate slice, move your thumbs much more towards the target. So more open face for a slice, more closed face for a hook. Now let's look at the famous shot that Tiger Woods made very popular and has now become a stock shot for a lot of top golfers, particularly when the day is very windy and they want to keep it down below the wind. And that's the stinger. You may want to start, I've got my 5-iron here, with the 5-iron before you try this with your 4, or if you possess a 3-iron, or for that matter, even with a hybrid. So you start with your 5-iron. A couple of key things that are really important. Firstly, the ball is slightly forward in your stance. Slightly forward in your stance. Secondly, you want to be leading with your hands. You want to be leading with your hands. Right. So your hands also should be well ahead of the club head. So hands well ahead of your club head, and you lead with your hands. Another very important aspect is you need to have noodle arms. So not stiff arms, but actually think about your arms being nice and loose and noodle. And in my case, because I'm a left-hander, I'm going to come round to the right. That's the beautiful stinger. Nice and low under the wind. You're not closing the face. You're coming low and right. In my case, it's left-hander, because you're squaring up the club at impact. Remember, nice, loose noodle arms. And I'm coming left to right to square. Ball much more on my back, towards my back foot. That stinger. So another key shot is a simple pitch. And for that, you take a higher lofted club. I have my 9 iron here. You go down on your grip, make the shaft the center of your body. Make the shaft center of your body. And square looks a little open because it's a higher lofted club, and the more the loft, so let's say you take your sandwich, it would be even more, it would look even more open, and that is square. You want to keep your club head below your waistline. So nice simple pitch, club head below your waistline as you come through. So it's a nice, easy, simple pitch. When you get into trouble, it's a little bit like a sort of bigger chip. Nice and simple, weight more on your front foot. One key thing with that simple pitch is you are keeping the club head below your waistline and you're rotating your torso. That's all you're doing, rotating your torso. So hands down on the club, shaft center your body, rotate your torso. A nice simple pitch, beautiful. Of course, as you finish, you come through. And the less you go back and forth, obviously the less distance. So nice, simple pitch. Beautiful. Versions of that for that simple pitch, simple chip. Let's look at the bump and run. This is really important, particularly in the case of playing links golf. You bring your grip all the way down, almost to below the grip, the bottom of the grip. Weight 60% forward. Once again, much more keeping your swing and club head below the waist. So this is just a little bump and run. With your weight forward, you'll strike it nicely. Two other important things: a much narrower stance, because you are really just doing a bump and run, and your forward shoulder, in this case, much more leaning forward with your weight, not back. So simple bump and run. One more. Hands well down, weight forward, shoulder tilt forward, small turn, keep the head below the waist. Narrow, much narrower stance. Keeping my turn nice and low. Bump and run. So a variation of the chipping material I've done, the simple pitch. Basically, if you want short shots, take a narrow stance, hands down the grip, forward weight slight forward tilt, because you're going to come down and hit down on the ball, shaft center of your body. Any short shots. Helps you get that extra control by having a narrow stance, hands down the grip. Highly recommend it. Next is how to do some crispy chips. Yes, crispy chips. One of the key things, you take a look at the clip-on chips, but that I think is important to emphasize is to have the heel up as you do that simple chip. So look at the club, I'm putting the heel up. So if this is flat, then you put the heel up. By putting the heel up and doing that arm movement, you're going to have a nice crispy chip, much more reliable, not hitting it fat or thin, going in the direction you want. Easy peasy is to have a plan B swing. What does that mean? Well, let's say you're having a round, it's not going very well. Somehow you're not striking it well. Well, switch to your plan B swing. And there are a couple of key things to get it right. First of all, put the ball further back in your stance. Secondly, put the weight on the front foot. Do a 3/4 swing, weight on the front foot, and you're not going the full swing. Do a 3/4 swing to get that feel back again. So when you're stuck and it's just not working, go to the 3/4 swing. A nice plan B swing to get you relaxed again, to get you hitting well again. One of the keys though is to finish in balance. So you're not, just because of the 3/4 swing, you're not stopping. You still finish in balance. So back foot, still finishing in balance. But it allows you to get your game back on track. A plan B swing. Plan B swing. Let's get it back on track. When it all goes wrong, go to your plan B swing. One quick thing on distance, which whatever club you want. Try, and I've been trying this myself a lot these days, is using the ground. So watch my feet. I'm using the ground to give me a little bit more energy. As a senior golfer, makes big difference. So I'll do 2 shots, one with the normal swing and then one using the ground. And now one using the ground. So now I hit that at least 50 yards more than my normal swing because I'm using the ground. I'm using the ground. I'm using the ground. 2 other quick tips, not to show it to you in the stroke, but one is the fairway hit. And I'm talking about a fairway, using a fairway wood or a hybrid on a par 3. What you want to do there, don't forget, normally on the fairway and on the course, you're coming down at the ball with those clubs. But on a par 3, you have the opportunity to use a small tee. So take advantage of it. But in this case, a little bit like the driver, you have a backward tilt. You're not coming down on the ball, you're now hitting up on the ball. So use that and compensate for it on a par 3. So adjust the use of your hybrid in the fairway when you're on a par 3 with a tee. One other quick tip, and I'll do some sessions later on putting. But putting, if you have short putts, try 2 different things. Have a look at some of the old videos of Jack Nicklaus and you'll see that. He used to put both toes in. It helps you for the short putts to remain stable. And if it works for you, you might want to do that on the longer putts, but certainly for the shorter putts, remain stable. So I'll hit one quick one here, onto the driving range. Feet more together. Although I'm using my hybrid, I'm just going to putt the ball, and I'm putting my 2 feet in. The other way to practice that and get used to that is cross your feet, because that'll help you stay stable. Stay stable with your crossed feet. It'll achieve some of the same thing. It's not illegal if you find that's very successful for your short putts. Even do it on the course in your game.